What is up, my fellow viewers? This is Raihōsha-tachi and welcome to another honest review. Today we're gonna focus on the new movies from Data Bullet. More specifically, the first 24-minute episode movie called Dead or Bullet. This is the first part out of the two that compose the adaptation from the light novel Data Fragment, Data Bullet. The second part will come out, I believe, in the 13th of November, called Data Bullet, Nightmare or Queen. As per usual, this video will contain spoilers from the first episode of Data Bullet and also some spoilers from Data Life to Kurumi Start Festival, the OVA episode. I will not go into spoilers about the light novels, otherwise it will become really confusing for those that only watch the anime version. So let's jump right into it. So this episode starts off with our beloved Kurumi Tokisaki going up against the White Queen, in which we got to see a little bit of action between these two characters. I know, some of you probably don't know who the hell White Queen is, but basically she's a dominion of the third region, Bina, and she's also known as White Kurumi. Without going into crazy explanations of the lore, the White Queen wants to destroy the neighboring world and rule over the land along with her lover from another world. Dominion, of course, being the designated term for the ruler of the region. After an amazing display of abilities, both from Kurumi's Zafkiel and from the White Queen's Lucifigus? I don't really know how to pronounce the word, but it is apparent that Kurumi is defeated. However, the battle scene is interrupted with another scene where Kurumi is transported to Malkuth, aka the 10th region in the neighboring world, and in this location, Kurumi must fight against 7 other people. We have Hibiki Higoromo, the young white-haired girl that claims to be quite knowledgeable, but doesn't seem to be the fighting type at first glance, in which she gets to team up with Kurumi in order to defeat the other opponents in this battle royale. Tang, aka the Biscuit Smasher, who's this incredibly strong girl that carries some sort of mallet. Then there's Yui Sagakure, that specializes mainly on ninja abilities and clones to disrupt her opponents. Hishikata Isami, another young girl that carries a big katana. We also have Hayami Takeshita, that doesn't have much screen time, as her first scene is her being killed by Pani Ibusaki straight away, but her main weapon was a longbow. Then we have, of course, Pani, aka the Doll Master. Well, she basically transforms people into dolls and controls them to do her bidding. And last but not least, we have the White Queen once again. So all of these characters that I mentioned before, aside from Kurumi and White Queen, are quasi-spirits, half-spirits if we could say. Whoever wins the battle royale is granted any wish, including leaving Malkuth and go back to the real world. Or so it is what you're told in the anime. But in reality, the Doll Master uses Pani Ibusuki to fight against the quasi-spirits and collect their fragments. Of course, this is a sort of death trap for quasi-spirits, since the Dominion waits until the targets are weakened before sending Pani to kill them all in the battle royale. But this time around, things don't go too well, because Kurumi, being an S-ranked spirit, she can pretty much defeat anyone in this battle. Of course, aside from the White Queen, who's also a very strong spirit. Kurumi starts off the fight against the Biscuit Master, then she goes up against Pani, who's completely overwhelmed by Kurumi once she's able to reawaken her special ability Zafkiel, and almost succeeding into killing her. But this one is able to escape, only to then die, of course, at the hands of the White Queen, in which she proceeds to collect her fragment. Don't forget that Kurumi, like the other quasi-spirits, was also weakened and couldn't use the full extent of her abilities. However, being a very strong one, she can pretty much, recover if she focuses hard enough. When it comes to Kurumi herself, I have seen a bit of confusion from certain people on the internet as to who this Kurumi is. Some have said to be the Kurumi from the beginning fighting against the White Queen. However, one thing is for certain though, the Kurumi is the one that was killed by another Kurumi in the OVA episode from Data Life to Kurumi Star Festival, in which we got to see some sort of date between Shiru, the main character from Data Life series, and one of the Kurumis. And if you have seen the OVA, in which I presume you do, at the end of the OVA, she got killed by the quote-unquote real Kurumi. And as you have seen in this movie episode, she mentioned when up against Penny, she wanted to fall in love with that person again, no matter how long it takes. And we got to see, while she was saying this, we got to see a glimpse of the OVA episode as flashback when she was wearing that wedding dress, by then unleashing Zavkiel upon Penny, and also acceleration. Overall, this movie episode was short, true, but filled with action, with amazing animation and design, and astonishing soundtrack, I have to say. The soundtrack... oh my god, the soundtrack was amazing. Unfortunately, there was not enough screen time to cover the lore behind the neighboring world and the war between dominions. I mean, with 24 episodes, we simply got to see the main plot points of the Battle Royale that will probably lead to a showdown between Kurumi and the White Queen. If you are a Date A Live fan, especially a Kurumi fan, I believe you'll not be disappointed by simply seeing the best girl in action. But if I had to judge it analytically, unfortunately this episode is really unfaithful to the light novels, with a lot of stuff that was cut off from the episode. We'll have to wait for the second episode to see what else they got to show. Again, this episode was very smooth when it comes to fighting choreography, and the different animation effects were pretty neat as well. But yeah, there was a lot of content that was cut off, and it was quite disappointing for me. And with this, guys, my final verdict for the first part of the movie, of the series, aka Date Bullet, Dead or Bullet, will be a score of 6 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to check out my Discord and Twitter page to stay up to date with the latest information. And don't forget to watch your daily dose of anime, because it's good for your brain and heart. Take care, and I'll see y'all in the next video.